You know, when I was a kid, I had this vision, this fire inside me that couldn't be put out. I didn't just want to play in the NBA. I wanted to be great. I wanted my name to be remembered forever. But here's the thing, dreaming isn't enough. Everybody has dreams. The real question is, what are you willing to sacrifice? I grew up in Italy, far away from the NBA, far away from the bright lights, but that didn't matter. I didn't need any lights. I had a ball, a hoop, and an obsession. My dad played, so basketball was in my blood. I wake up early, go outside and shoot until my arms burned. If I wasn't playing, I was studying. I watched every tape I could find. Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. I studied their footwork, their decision-making, their mentality. I wasn't just a fan, I was a student. When my family moved back to Philadelphia, I had one goal: dominate. I played like every game was my last. Every practice was a war. People told me I was too young, too skinny, not strong enough. But I didn't listen to the noise. I listened to the work. I remember one summer when I was 12, I played in a basketball camp and I didn't score a single point, not one. You know what I did? I didn't cry about it. I didn't make excuses. I locked myself in the gym. That summer, I trained every single day from sun up to sundown until my game became unstoppable. I wasn't just playing to get better. I was playing like my life depended on it. By the time I got to Lower Merion High School, I was different. I wasn't playing for fun. I wasn't playing just to win. I was playing for legacy. By my senior year, I was the top high school player in the country. But that wasn't enough. I didn't want college. I didn't need college. I wanted the league. So in 1996, I declared for the NBA draft. 17 years old, a kid stepping into a world full of grown men. People laughed, they doubted me, but I didn't care because I knew something they didn't. I was built for this. Draft day, 1996, the Charlotte Hornets called my name, but I wasn't meant for Charlotte. I was meant for LA. The Lakers saw it, Jerry West saw it, and in that moment, my destiny was set. I was stepping into the biggest basketball stage in the world under the brightest lights with the most legendary franchise in the NBA. But here's the thing, I wasn't given anything. I was 17, a kid walking into a locker room full of grown men, Shaq, Eddie Jones, Robert Horry, veterans, champions. And I was supposed to prove I belonged. I wasn't scared, I was hungry. First year, I barely played. Coach kept me on the bench, people laughed. See, he's not ready. But what they didn't see was what happened behind the scenes. I was in the gym at 4 a.m. every single day. I was the last one to leave. I studied film until my eyes burned. I wasn't partying. I wasn't wasting time. I was preparing. Then the moment came, 1997 NBA playoffs, Lakers versus Jazz. I got my chance, 4 shots, 4 air balls. I failed. On national television, the world saw me fall. But let me tell you something about failure. It's not the opposite of success, it's the foundation of it. That same night, while everyone else was sleeping, I was in the gym shooting those same shots over and over again until missing was no longer an option. When Phil Jackson arrived in LA, everything changed. Before Phil, I was already locked in. I was obsessed with being great, with working harder than anyone else. But Phil, he brought something different. He brought the triangle offense, a system built on discipline, patience, and trust. He saw something in me, but he didn't just hand me the keys, he made me earn it. At first, I didn't like it. I wanted the ball. I wanted to take over. I wanted to dominate. But Phil, he taught me how to win, how to trust my teammates, how to think the game on a whole different level. And with Shaq in his prime, we became unstoppable. 3 straight championships, a dynasty. People saw the highlights. They saw the dunks, the buzzer beaters, the celebrations, but they didn't see what it took to get there. They didn't see the fights in practice, the battles with Shaq, the nights I stayed in the gym until 3 a.m., pushing my body past its limit because I refused to be anything less than great. That's what people don't get about winning. It's not just about talent, it's about sacrifice, But as dominant as we were, the cracks started to show. Shaq and I, we were two killers. But killers don't always see eye to eye. I wanted more. I wanted to train harder, push further, work longer with Shaq. He was the most dominant force in the game, but he didn't have the same obsession I had. I couldn't accept that. If I was in the gym at 4 a.m., I expected him to be there too. If I was pushing myself to the absolute limit, I expected everyone around me to do the same. So when he left in 2004, people thought I was done. They said I couldn't win without him. They said the championships were Shaq's, that I'd never get another ring. And that lit a fire in me. That's when the Mamba mentality truly took over. For years, I put up numbers, scoring titles, 81 points in a game, MVPs, but none of that mattered without rings. Greatness isn't just about stats. It's about winning. We made the finals. We were ready, but we ran into the Celtics. They beat us, humiliated us. I took that personally. I watched that loss every day. I studied every mistake, every play, every weakness. The pain of that loss became my fuel. Redemption, we won it all. The rematch, Lakers versus Celtics, 7 games, a war. I was exhausted, my body was breaking down, but when it mattered most, I found another gear. We took them down. That was personal, that was legacy. People call me selfish. They say I shot too much. But when the game's on the line, do you want the guy who hopes he'll make the shot or the guy who knows he will? That's why I never stopped, because winning wasn't enough. I wanted more. I wanted to be legendary. And legendary was just the beginning. You hear people talk about Mamba mentality like it's just a phrase, a mindset, but it's not just about motivation. It's about obsession. It's about the willingness to suffer for greatness. It's about never making excuses, never backing down, never accepting anything less than the absolute best. After winning back-to-back championships in 2009 and 2010, I had 5 rings. My place in history was secure. But for me, the job was never finished. People thought I'd slow down, maybe take my foot off the gas. They didn't know me. Winning wasn't just something I did, it was who I was. But life doesn't care about how great you were yesterday. The game doesn't care about what you've already accomplished. It only asks one question: what's next? Then 2013 happened. We were making a late season push for the playoffs. I was carrying the team, playing heavy minutes, doing whatever it took to win, and then pop. I knew instantly. It felt like someone kicked me in the back of the leg, but when I turned around, there was no one there. That's when I knew my Achilles was gone. For most players, that's the end. Career over, call it a day. But you know me, I wasn't leaving that court without handling my business first. I stood up, walked to the free throw line, hit both shots, then walked off under my own power. Not because I was trying to be a hero, because that's what the game demanded. Via surgery, rehab. The doctor said it would take a year. They said I might never be the same again. That's all I needed to hear. While the world slept, I was up at 4 a.m. grinding. While people doubted, I was working. Every step, every rep, every moment was dedicated to proving one thing: I was not done. I had nothing left to prove to anyone else, but I had everything to prove to myself. And after months of suffering, of setbacks, of relentless work, I came back. I didn't come back to chase another ring. I came back because I refused to let the game tell me when I was done. I would decide that Mamba mentality isn't just about basketball. It's about life. It's about attacking every challenge with the same hunger, the same fire, the same relentless commitment to excellence. It's about pushing past limits. It's about doing the work when no one is watching. It's about demanding more from yourself than anyone else ever could. That's why even when my playing days were over, the Mamba mentality never stopped. I took that same obsession and poured it into storytelling, coaching my daughters, inspiring the next generation. Because greatness isn't just about what you achieve, it's about what you pass down. I always said the most important thing is to try and inspire people so that they can be great in whatever they want to do. That's the real legacy. It's not just the championships. It's not just the 81-point game. It's not just the rings. It's the mentality, the work, the passion. That's what Mamba Mentality is. That's what makes you unstoppable. People throw around the term Mamba Mentality, but do they really understand it? It's not just about motivation. It's not just about getting hyped up before a game. No. Mamba Mentality is about obsession. It's about waking up every single day with an unshakable drive to be the best version of yourself no matter what it takes. Mamba Mentality means training harder than anyone else. It means studying the game relentlessly, never getting comfortable, never accepting mediocrity. It's about making sacrifices that others aren't willing to make, because that's what separates the good from the great. For me, it was never about talent. I wasn't the tallest, I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't the strongest, but I had something that couldn't be measured, a relentless hunger to be the greatest to ever do it. Even after winning 5 championships, after securing my legacy, the fire inside me never faded because the job was never finished. I knew that when the moment came, when adversity hit, I would respond the only way I knew how, by going harder. And then in 2013, I faced my biggest challenge yet. It was April 12, 2013, a regular season game against the Golden State Warriors. But for us, it was everything. We were fighting for a playoff spot, and I knew what was at stake. I had been playing crazy minutes at 34 years old. I was logging more time on the court than guys in their prime, but I didn't care. I was willing to do whatever it took to win. And then, pop, a sharp pain shot up my leg. It felt like someone had kicked me in the back of my heel. I turned around expecting to see a defender, but no one was there. That's when I knew my Achilles was gone. Most guys would stay down. Most guys would let the trainers carry him off. But I wasn't most guys. I had 2 free throws to take, 2 points we needed. So I got up, I walked to the free throw line, I knocked down both shots, then I walked off the court under my own power. Not because I was trying to be dramatic, not because I wanted a moment, but because that's what the game demanded. Pain is temporary. Pain is part of the process, but quitting, that's forever. After surgery, the doctors told me it would take a year to recover. They told me I might never be the same player again. That was all I needed to hear. While the world doubted me, while people counted me out, I went to work 0.4 a.m. every single day. I rebuilt myself from the ground up. Every step, every rep, every grueling hour in rehab, I welcomed it, because this was another challenge to overcome. This wasn't just about basketball. This was about proving to myself that I could rise again. And after months of relentless work, after pushing my body to the limit, I came back, not for the fame, not for another ring, but because I refused to let the game tell me when I was done. I would decide that, see, Mamba Mentality isn't just about hoops. It's bigger than basketball. It's about life. It's about how you attack every challenge, how you approach every goal, how you push past every limit that the world tries to put on you. It's about never making excuses. It's about always finding a way to be better, to grow, to evolve. That's why even after my playing days were over, the Mamba Mentality never stopped. I put that same passion into storytelling, into coaching my daughters, into inspiring the next generation, because that's what true greatness is. It's not just about what you achieve. Is about what you pass down. I always say the most important thing is to try and inspire people so that they can be great in whatever they want to do. That's the real legacy. It's not just the championships, not just the 81-point game, not just the 5 rings. It's the mentality, the work, the passion, the obsession. That's what makes you unstoppable. That's what makes you legendary. That's what Mamba Mentality is all about. And that's the legacy that lives forever. Basketball was my first love, but as my career went on, I realized something. Legacy isn't just about what you achieve, it's about what you give back. When I retired in 2016, people thought I would struggle without the game. They thought I'd miss the competition, the lights, the roar of the crowd. They didn't understand basketball gave me everything, but it also prepared me for life beyond the game. And my next challenge, being a father, a mentor, and an inspiration to the next generation. People knew me as the Black Mamba, but at home, I was just dad. I had 4 beautiful daughters, and being their father meant more to me than anything I ever did on the court. I wanted to be present, to teach them, to show them that greatness isn't just for men, it's for anyone willing to put in the work. Gianna, my second daughter, had that same fire in her eyes. She was different. She wanted to carry on the Bryant legacy in basketball. And just like I had studied Jordan, she studied me. We spent hours in the gym working on footwork, shooting, passing, reading defenses. But more than that, I taught her about the mentality, the work ethic, the sacrifice, the hunger. People would ask me, don't you want a son to carry on your legacy? And before I could answer, Gigi would jump in. I got this. And she did. She was going to be special. She already was, after a retirement, I didn't sit around reminiscing about the past. I poured everything I had into helping others achieve their greatness. I started the Mamba Sports Academy to teach young athletes the game the right way, not just the skills, but the mindset, the leadership, the resilience. I mentored NBA and WNBA players. I broke down film with them, challenged them, pushed them. Because greatness recognizes greatness. I also started writing and storytelling because I wanted kids to believe in their dreams. I wanted them to see that they too could achieve greatness no matter where they came from. That's what life is about, passing the torch, because true greatness isn't just about winning, it's about making sure the fire never dies. On January 26, 2020, the world changed forever. I left this earth alongside my daughter Gianna and 7 others. It was a tragedy that no one could have ever prepared for. But legends never die, because my story, my work, my mentality, it lives on in every person who refuses to quit, every athlete who outworks their competition, every dreamer who refuses to listen to doubt. Mamba Mentality isn't just a phrase, it's a way of life. It's about waking up every day with a purpose. It's about attacking your dreams with everything you've got. It's about pushing past the pain, the fear, the failures, because greatness lives on the other side of struggle. And that's why I'm still here. I live on in every young hooper who studies the game. I live on in every person who wakes up before the sun to chase a dream. I live on in every father who teaches their child to believe in themselves, because legacies aren't built on trophies. They're built on impact. Greatness doesn't happen by accident. It's built in the dark when no one is watching. People used to ask me, Kobe, what's your secret? There was no secret. It was obsession. I studied the game more than anyone. I trained harder than anyone. I broke the game down to a science. Angles, footwork, timing, balance. Every movement had a purpose. Every rep had intent. While my competition was sleeping, I was working. 4 a.m. workouts every day, 1,000 shots a day, minimum. I had one goal, to be the best to ever do it, and I was willing to suffer for it. That's what separated me from the rest. It wasn't just about talent, it was about the willingness to do what others wouldn't. My routine was brutal. Wake up at 4 a.m., work out, practice, film, study, weight training, another practice, another workout, recovery, repeat, no days off, no shortcuts, just an endless pursuit of perfection. That's Mamba Mentality. It's the understanding that talent means nothing if you don't put in the work. I always told young players, if you want to be great, you have to love the process more than the result. That's why I never feared pressure. I prepared for it. When the game was on the line, I wasn't nervous because I had already lived that moment 1,000 times in my mind, in the gym, in the countless hours of preparation. The work gave me confidence. The obsession gave me an edge. People talk about my 81-point game, my 5 championships, my MVP. What they don't see is the suffering behind those moments. The sleepless nights, the injuries I played through, the sacrifices I made. That's why I never believed in excuses. You either put in the work or you don't. You either want to be great or you don't. There is no in between. And that's the lesson. If you want to be legendary, you have to be obsessed. Failure is the greatest teacher if you're willing to learn from it. Most people fear failure. They run from it. They make excuses. But me, I embraced it. Because failure wasn't the end of the road. It was the blueprint for success. People forget I wasn't always Kobe Bryant, the legend. I was the 17-year-old kid who shot 4 airballs in a playoff game against Utah. That moment could have broken me. But instead, it became the moment that made me. The next morning, I was in the gym before the sun came up. I dissected every shot, every mistake, every weakness in my game. I wasn't going to let failure define me. I was going to use it to fuel me. And that's the thing. Failure isn't fatal unless you let it be. Every great player, every great champion, every great person in any field has failed at some point. The difference is the great ones use failure as motivation. After we lost to the Celtics in the 2008 finals, I was sick. I couldn't sleep. I watched that series over and over, studying what went wrong, using the pain as fuel. The next year, we won the championship. The year after that, we beat Boston in a Game 7. That's what failure does if you handle it the right way. It pushes you forward. I tell young athletes all the time, don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid of not learning from it. Because every missed shot, every loss, every mistake, it's all part of the journey. If you let failure break you, you don't deserve success. If you let failure push you, you become unstoppable. Basketball was my life, but it was never the end goal. Legacy was. Not just the trophies, the rings, the records, but the impact, the inspiration, the lessons I left behind. When I retired in 2016, I didn't look back. I didn't miss the game because I had given it everything I had. There were no what ifs, but my work wasn't done. Mamba Mentality wasn't just about basketball, it was about life. That's why I dedicated myself to storytelling, to inspiring the next generation, to showing young people that they too could achieve greatness in whatever field they chose. That's why I mentored players, started Mamba Sports Academy, wrote books, created films. Because true greatness isn't just about what you do, it's about what you pass down. That's why Gianna meant so much to me. She was going to carry the torch. She had the same hunger, the same drive, the same passion. And that's what hurt the most when she was taken from us, because she was destined for greatness. But I know one thing for certain, legends never die, because every time a kid steps into a gym and refuses to leave until they get their shot right, I'm there. Every time someone wakes up at 4 a.m. to chase a dream, I'm there. Every time someone pushes past pain, past doubt, past fear, I'm there. Because Mamba Mentality isn't just about me, it's about you. It's about anyone who dares to be great. That's the legacy, and that's why Mamba Mentality will live forever. Mamba out.